Hello and welcome to Inside Out News, where we go beyond the headlines to uncover the stories, the motives, and the power play behind Nigeria's unfolding events. Today, we are taking a deep dive into the quiet but very strategic political maneuvers happening within the opposition coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections. A development that on the surface appears to signal unity among the opposition, but underneath reveals tension, positioning, and subtle power shifts that could reshape the political map of 2027 entirely. The key highlight: the African Democratic Congress coalition leadership has just concluded its second major closed-door meeting in Abuja. Now, the interesting part is not only who attended, but who was conspicuously absent. This is the second time that Peter Obi has been absent from ADC coalition leadership meetings, and his absence is raising serious political questions. Is Obi gradually distancing himself from this coalition? Is he strategically refusing to submit to ADC's internal terms? Or is he signaling a bigger political move? Today, we will break down what happened in that meeting, what was said, what was decided, and most importantly, what it means. Let us begin with the meeting itself. Held in Abuja, this closed-door session was attended by some of the most influential figures in today's Nigerian political landscape. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Senate President and ADC National Chairman David Mark, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, former Minister of Digital Economy Issa Pantami, former Sokoto State Governor Hamidu Tambuwa, former Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, and former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi. These are established heavyweights with deep political capital, national structures, and strong party influence. They did not gather merely for courtesy. They gathered with clear political intent as the coalition attempts to form a united front strong enough to challenge the ruling government in 2027. But again, Peter Obi, one of the most popular opposition figures today, was not there. He sent apologies, and this marks his second absence in a row. This is no longer something that can be waved aside as coincidence or scheduling conflict. In politics, presence is a statement, absence is also a statement. Inside that meeting, 3 major decisions were taken, and these decisions are the real heart of the tension forming. Decision 1. All aspirants, including Atiku, Obi, Amechi, and others, must agree to support whoever emerges as the ADC presidential candidate after the primaries. In other words, anyone who loses must step aside and allow the winner to lead the coalition. Decision 2. All coalition members were instructed to leave their existing political parties and fully join ADC without exceptions. This is the line that struck the most political nerves because, as we know, Peter Obi has repeatedly stated, publicly and privately, that he is not ready to abandon the Labour Party. Not now, not yet. Therefore, this instruction directly contradicts Obi's position, and more importantly, it pressures him to choose: join ADC fully or remain in Labour Party. But he cannot play both sides. This is the red line. This is where the tension begins to take shape, because the ADC leadership has now repeated this instruction twice, and Obi has also repeated his refusal more than twice. Now let us look deeper at what is happening beneath the surface. The decisions, the structure being built, the tone of the meetings, and the influential figures leading discussions all seem to be aligning in favor of Atiku Abubakar. Atiku has the longest existing political machinery among the contenders in this coalition. He has the widest fundraising network. He has national influence and loyal political operatives across every zone in Nigeria. In contrast, Peter Obi's strength is popular support, especially among urban youth, professionals, and diaspora networks, but his party structure remains weaker when compared. So strategically, the ADC's insistence on full party crossover favors the candidate who already has embedded networks ready to take over and dominate the structure once the crossover is complete. This means if Peter Obi leaves Labour Party, he enters ADC as someone who must integrate. But if Atiku enters ADC, he enters as someone who will lead. And Peter Obi understands this. This is why his absence matters. This is why his silence is strategic. This is why he is watching this coalition carefully without committing himself to it. Because joining at this stage may mean walking into a political structure that's already leaning towards someone else. Let us go back to signals. When the ADC leadership meets twice and Obi is absent twice, that is not accidental. That is positioning. When the coalition is pressing him to leave Labour Party and Obi is refusing, that is resistance. When the momentum appears to be building around Atiku, that is alignment. Obi is observing. Obi is calculating. Obi is waiting for the outcome of the power balance, because there are only two likely outcomes from this coalition. Outcome 1. Atiku becomes the natural leader of the coalition due to structure, history, and influence. Outcome 2. Obi insists on retaining Labour Party and positions himself as the alternative outside the coalition, possibly running independently or forming a separate alliance later. Either way, this coalition is entering a test of loyalty, strength, and political negotiation, and the next few months will determine whether this alliance becomes stronger or fractures from within. So where does this leave us? The coalition wants to project unity, but its internal decisions are already drawing political battle lines. Peter Obi's absence is no longer subtle. It is now symbolic. The pressure for him to abandon Labour Party has now intensified, but he has drawn his red line. Atiku, meanwhile, is gaining ground quietly, steadily, structurally, not loudly, but effectively. The ADC coalition is moving, but in whose direction? As we approach 2027, the real question is no longer just who can win the election, but who will control the opposition machinery, who will define the terms of unity, and who will Nigerians rally behind when the dust settles. We will keep tracking every step, every statement, every silence, and every move, because in politics, what is not said is sometimes louder than what is said. This is Inside Out News. Stay tuned for more stories that dig beneath the surface and uncover the truth behind the headlines. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because here we don't just tell the news, we uncover the truth behind it as we break them down. See you again in the next video. Till then, this is Inside Out News. Stay informed, stay analytical, and stay inside the truth. Thanks for watching.